Some of the key areas that first come to my mind, they're not the only ones, but they certainly are important ones, have to do with access to care, psychosocial factors, and case management, early case management, utilization management, getting in from the forefront. Access to care, in today's world even, we still have many rural communities where employers don't have things that are readily accessible, especially physically. So whether it's a doctor or it's the proper level of a trauma center, having that access and understanding where to go when you sustain a work-related injury is so important. Employers that have panels of physicians that are regularly reviewed and they know what to do when that employee comes in with a work-related injury upon that first report of injury. Typically, and not always, but typically that access to care seems to go smoother from the onset. So that early access, proper access to streamline that person to where they could be most helped for that particular injury or type of situation that they're dealing with. You might have two people with the same exact injury in either the same area or not in the same geographic area, but one has comorbidities and they have vulnerabilities in their life. Possibly, they're introverted. So it's hard for them to tell and articulate what has happened to them or to understand a treatment plan. But the person who has psychosocial issues definitely impacts an overall key element of appropriate diagnosis if they can't articulate those things. When the criteria for the diagnosis is identified, the treatment plan is solidified with the proper type of treatment, and the education is provided to that injured party if there's any psychosocial issues or areas of vulnerability for that individual, which is the individual base that becomes the cost driver oftentimes, or the quick recovery back to work and maximum medical improvement. Case managers they're professionals. They are trained to deal with those things, the holistic person, and to make sure that they are getting proper coordination of various services, speaking with all the different professionals that are responsible in that case or should know what each other is doing. And sometimes that breakdown of information leads to maybe a delay in diagnostics or possibly a second diagnostic or getting an approval on something. So I feel like case management services, and clearly it's part of what I do every day, is a large aspect of being able to reduce what could become a cost driver on a large loss claim that when you look at the original diagnosis you say, why would that happen? How could that claim become one of my 20% where I'm spending most of my indemnity? There's more to that, of course, but having your tools in your toolbox as that risk professional, as that adjudicator, I think is imperative. Managed care is one of those. You want to make sure that you have a good ancillary service provider, and you want to make sure that you understand and believe in the process of getting people taken care of as soon as they can, because ultimately, if they understand what's going on, if you get them through the proper medical care treatment and coordinate it timely, appropriate, most of the time you're going to be within medical guidelines to get them back to work or back to a quality of life that's appropriate.